The US consumer debt per household has exceeded $15,000, which means that if you're struggling with debt, you are not alone. With so many people in debt, it can be tempting to try to get out of debt on your own. But while you may be able to pay off some of your debts with this approach, it can be extremely difficult to tackle the problem alone. If you want to successfully get out of debt once and for all, consider these reasons why you shouldn't try to do it alone before trying another plan entirely. But before we delve into these points, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Your support will go a long way in helping us grow the channel and most importantly help you grow financially. There are two kinds of debt, financial debt and emotional debt. Financial debt is the kind that you can pay off with money. Emotional debt is the kind that you can pay off with time, patience, and effort. Trying to get out of debt without help is like trying to climb a mountain without a rope. You might be able to do it, but it's going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. Here are 3 reasons why you shouldn't try to get out of debt alone. 1. You'll miss out on opportunities for financial education. 2. You'll have a harder time making disciplined decisions about your spending. 3. You'll put unnecessary stress on yourself and your relationships. In order to get out of debt, you need an extra set of hands, someone who knows what they're doing. Whether you go with a professional or some knowledgeable friends, don't go at it alone. It's easy to become reliant on things that give us a false sense of security, like credit cards and loans. But what happens when those crutches are taken away? We're left scrambling, trying to figure out how to get by without them. That's why it's so important to be proactive about getting out of debt instead of waiting until you're in a financial hole. Here are a few tips on how to do just that. 1. Make a budget and stick to it. This may seem like an obvious one, but it's important to be aware of your spending patterns before you can make any changes. Track where you're spending your money for a few months, then cut back on any unnecessary expenses. 2. Create a debt repayment plan. Figure out which debts need to be paid off first, and start chipping away at the balance with extra payments or an increased monthly payment. 3. Diversify your income sources. A stable income is great, a reliable stream of passive income is even better. Think about finding ways to generate more revenue outside of your day job. 4. Build up your emergency fund. Most experts recommend having at least 3 months' worth of living expenses saved up in case something goes wrong financially, such as losing a job or unexpected medical bills. When you're trying to get out of debt, one of the most important things to consider is whether or not you can afford the interest. If you have a loan with a high interest rate, it can be difficult to make progress. Banks and other financial institutions are in the business of making money, so they're not going to help you get out of debt if it means they'll lose money. It's important to remember that interest is just one factor to consider when you're trying to get out of debt. The other factors are the principal, or the amount you borrowed, and the term, or the length of time you have to pay back the loan. The interest rate is important, but it's not the only thing that matters. Another consideration is how much you owe and how long it will take for you to repay your debt. In general, if you owe less than $5,000 and have less than 3 years left on your repayment plan, a lower interest rate might be better for you. But if your outstanding balance is more than $10,000 or there's less than 2 years left on your repayment plan, then it might make sense to go with a higher interest loan. Trying to get out of debt can feel like an uphill battle. If you're struggling, don't go it alone. There are plenty of people who can help you. Talk to your spouse or family about your financial situation. See if a friend can loan you some money. If you need more help, there are plenty of organizations that can assist you, such as banks or financial counselors. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. There's no shame in asking for help with getting out of debt. Even celebrities and politicians seek the advice of others when they have problems they can't solve on their own. Whether you reach out to friends, family members, or professionals, someone will be able to offer advice and guidance during this difficult time. And there are a number of debt relief programs available that can help you get out of debt without having to declare bankruptcy. So before you make any decisions, be sure to weigh up all your options. If you decide bankruptcy is the best option for you, then consult a qualified lawyer. Financial debt can feel like a never-ending nightmare. The constant calls and letters from creditors, not to mention the stress of making ends meet, can be overwhelming. And, when you're struggling to make payments, it can be tempting to just ignore the problem and hope it will go away. But that's a dangerous game to play. If you don't face your debt head-on, you could end up in even more financial trouble. It might take some time before you're able to get out of debt completely, but there are some things you can do right now to help yourself get back on track. Contact all your creditors and explain the situation. It's best if they hear from you directly instead of through someone else. Find out what kind of repayment plan they'll work with you on, then stick with it faithfully until it's paid off or negotiate an agreement for them to take over certain bills. A student loan might be better left with a lender rather than a credit card company. Start saving money by cutting out anything that doesn't have immediate benefits. No unnecessary spending, no impulse purchases, and no eating out for lunch at work every day. Though it may be difficult, admitting that you need help is the first step on the road to recovery. Trying to get out of debt without professional help can lead to more financial problems down the road. A qualified credit counselor can help you create a budget, negotiate with your creditors, and develop a plan to get out of debt. It's possible to pay off debt faster by making small changes in your lifestyle, for example, turning off the cable or eating at home instead of dining out. If you're struggling with debt, there are plenty of resources available for free or low-cost assistance from professionals who have helped thousands recover from the same situation. If you enjoyed this video and this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up if you hadn't already. And subscribe for more videos like this. With that said, have a great day and see you on the next one.